training, good question. Of course, physical training is one. Physical training as far as nothing that really has to do with doing a breaking move, but what I do a lot of core exercise, and I do push-ups. I used to lift weight, but I don't do that anymore. Because it gives you a false understanding of lifting a heavier weight than your actual body. Now you can lift weight to get stronger, yes, which is cool. But at the same time, you're lifting your body every time you break. Okay, so what I do is things that are relative to breaking, but they're not actual breaking moves, like push-ups. I do a lot of core exercise with the abs because the abs are very important. All this right here, it keeps you centered. Right? Very important to keep your abs tight. That's one thing I do. The other thing I do is I train my ear with the music. I train my ear. I very often have headphones in my ears. Usually when I'm walking and people are like, hey Tony, I'm like, huh? I always have music in my ears because I'm always listening. Right? The music, like I said, it tells you something, so you have to listen to the music. I love the music also, so I can't stop listening to it, but I always train my ear. And then I train my moves. Every move possible. Turbos, floats, swipes, halos, head spins, windmills, backspins, footwork, freezes, everything that has to do with breaking. Of course, you train that, every day. So, and I don't train often. I used to. I'm 30 years old now. When I was like 22, I trained every day. Every day. Now I don't. It's not that I'm old. I do a lot more things in life than just break. I used to just break every day, but now, I have other things that I focus on. I'm also an artist, so I like to create paintings and computer graphic art. I like to make music. I also travel a lot with my art and my dancing, so it's kind of like, it takes a lot of time out. It took me about 12 hours to get here on a flight, so that's already half my day gone. You know what I'm saying? It takes time. It takes time. But enjoy what you do. Take time in what you do. I would even tell you not to train every day. Sometimes you need to take it away for you to feel more excited about it. This is a question for B-boys and B-girls. How often do you feel discouraged about breaking? Is there a time that you're breaking almost every day and you're like, I can't get this move, man. Anybody ever feel that before? Yeah. I felt that a lot, especially when I started breaking, but you know what? You gotta just stop. Maybe take it away for a bit. Take 2, 3, 4 days off. And it's gonna make you wanna break. And then when you go back to practicing again, you're gonna practice with more energy and with more ideas. Because if you keep doing it all the time, you're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna be tired, and then on top of that, your brain is gonna be like, thinking too much. Thinking too much. Also, influences. Now we're going to get into the realm of biting. This is really important. We're in a different era now. When I first started breaking, there was no internet. That makes me feel old. That, what I just said, makes me feel really old. There was no internet, so there was nothing for me to find and watch continuously over and over again. There were some tapes that were put out there, but I didn't have much money to afford some of these tapes. And then on top of that, when I would get one, I'd let somebody borrow it, and I'd never see it again. They'd be like, yo, Tony, can I borrow your tape? Yeah, man, bring it back tomorrow. A week goes by. A month goes by. A year goes by. I never got the tape back. So, I would go to a jam or a party and I would see something that I like. I might see a move that I'm like, oh, that was hot. But I'm only going off my memory when I practice. So I'm not going to do the move exactly how that person did it. Because I can't remember how it was done, but I have an idea. You should focus on more of your idea than watching something over and over and over again, because you might start looking like that even if you don't want to, because that's how our brain works. If I look at him, then I look at him again, then I look at him again, and then I look some more, and I look again. I'm going to remember his face. You see what I'm saying? The more you watch something, the more you start to get an understanding of it, and then it becomes, you start doing whatever you're watching because it's just natural habit, you know? If you see something that you enjoy and you watch on YouTube, maybe watch it one more time. Don't ever watch it again. Look at it, ooh, that was dope. Off. Trust me, it'll help. It'll help, because the idea is what you want, not the actual move, the idea of the move. Because then you can create your own. Remember that. Or look at something else that has nothing to do with breaking. Most of the original B-boys and B-girls back in the day, the reason why they all look different is because they all had different influences. When you go to YouTube, don't type B-boy, B-girl, nothing. Type tap dancing. Type Lindy Hop. Type hustle. Type boxing. Things that have to do with people moving their feet and their hands. Because it'll give you an idea. Beyond breaking. That's why sometimes you see some of the B-boys that you like, or the B-girls that you like, and you see them and they're like, what was that? Normally it did not come from hip-hop or breaking, it came from something else. That's why you've never seen it before. You see what I mean? Influences. Take them outside of the world that you see around you every day, and look outside of that world into the world that's around us. You know, look around. Most breaking was influenced by Chinese culture. Kung Fu. Most B-boys got their ideas from Kung Fu. That has nothing to do with hip-hop. But then again, it does. Because they watched it. Mr. Wiggles, y'all! I don't know, he got this long introduction that he does all the time. So I hope you're ready for Mr. Wiggles. I want to say thank you again for your time. I also have CDs here with some music on it. I only have 5. So if y'all want, I got 5 CDs here, 10 euros a pop, let me know.